Two veteran NHL stars, Clarke and Sittler, for the faceoff. Ron Esselstein to drop it. And it comes to the corner for Salming, who put it behind, but Wilson is there. Wilson in front. They jam at it. Still they go for it, and the puck goes loose to Turnbull, who rolls it back into the Flyers zone. Propp able to play it in front of the empty cage, but gave it up to Sittler at center ice. Still they spar for it, and Bobby Clarke emerges. Clarke turns away from the checking of Terry Martin and sends it up the wing to Reggie Leach, who takes it and moves in. Leach lets it go. It's blocked by the knees of Borje Salming. To the corner they go pounding around, and it's Leach trying to walk out in front. They kick at it, and it's held to the side of the goal by goaltender Bunny Larocque, and now the sticks go up, and there's some shoving in front of the net.
We've got Darryl Sittler and Ben Wilson involved this last skirmish out in front of the net. But again, the Flyers were driving for the net. Mike, the puck was out in front in Larocque's feet, and they were driving for it, trying to poke it in. But right now, I think what they want to do is keep some of their offensive-minded hockey players on the ice rather than getting involved in an altercation, which they have, where they'll be going off the ice with 54 seconds remaining. You want to keep some of your big guns on there for the last 54 seconds. If you've got anticipation, you've got hopes of tying the game.
There you see, really my word. Ryan Propp had the stick right up around the face of Sittler, and I believe that's, if that's Sittler that we're seeing, he appears to have been cut.
I think Sittler is pretty upset. I think he did get nipped there just under the eye with the high stick, and I think he is pretty upset. Actually got nipped right above the eye. He's cut pretty good. And needless to say, he looks very upset.
Well, there will likely be some penalties coming from this if Brian Lewis saw what we did on the replay.
It's pretty hard to say when he actually got cut. Could you see it, Mike?
I saw Brian Propp's stick come up around the face, and that's what I noticed. Now, it may have been coincidental with something else that happened earlier, but
I think that Sittler and Clarke, just prior to Propp getting involved, I think they were, pushing back and forth too.
Maybe we'll get a chance here again.
Here it comes out here from behind the net. This is where it starts. There's Leach driving for the net, and there's Sittler and Clarke involved the first time. Here they come. There's Sittler jabbing back at Clarke. Now Clarke will turn around. Here's Propp coming back with his stick. Actually, I think it was Propp where his stick hit Sittler's arm and went up into his face, and I think it was Propp's stick that cut Sittler.
Clarke may have been cut as well. Saw him daubing at the inside of his lip just a moment ago, but we didn't see that first incident, the one that saw the stick thrust at Clarke and prompted the action of Propp. Nonetheless, we would imagine that there'll be a couple of perhaps majors coming out of this.
Well, here we go. There's Sittler giving Clarke a hook, and there's Leach is driving for the net. Now here comes a slash by Clarke. There's Clarke. His stick will go down. There's the stab back from Sittler, and Propp sees what happened. Now he goes to the defense of Sittler. There's Sittler's stick up in Clarke's face again, and as he did that, you could see Propp's stick come back up, but at that point in time, Clarke did not have a stick, and Sittler took a jab at him, and then Propp come to his aid and got his stick up, as well as Ben Wilson was right in between them. It'll be interesting here, Mike, to hear what the referees are going to dole out as far as penalties are concerned.
Here it comes.
Number 27, Darryl Sittler, 5 minutes for spearing. Flyers penalty to number 16, Bobby Clarke, 5 minutes for high sticking. Time of the penalties, 19 minutes, 6 seconds. Darryl Sittler, Toronto, 5-minute major, spearing. Bobby Clarke, Flyers, 5-minute major, high sticking.
Well, I'd have to think, Mike, that maybe that is one that Brian Propp got away with.
It's hard to say. You know, afterwards, we always have the second and third opportunity. Ben Wilson came in and was roughing it up with Sittler a little bit, and it could have been that maybe part of the glove or something caught him across, but I would tend to go with what we'd seen earlier involving Propp's stick.
Parce que le goaler aussi a fait un geste malhonnête envers lui. C'était pas peut-être nécessaire qu'il fasse la même chose.
Non, mais c'est ça, c'est pas une raison de l'excuser. Remarquez que Stephen aurait dû mériter une suspension sur ce jeu-là, lui aussi.